Yes, people. It's Jacob on the one up top. Before you do anything, make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all of that madness. I appreciate the love always. So, we go to the game that's just finished. Tottenham 1, Ipswich, aka the Tractor Boys, 2. Tottenham are just the gift that keeps giving, man. It's like the story was written. You had McKenna that was part of he used to play for Spurs and he's part of the he got his coaching badges early there. Ipswich ain't won a Premier League game in 22 years, and bar obviously the fact that they ain't been in the Premiership for so long, but they would have been clucking. Now, I'll be real. I spent a lot of time thinking it should be a game that we win. But then every time I kept saying we should win it, you look at what we did when we played Palace. Palace ain't won a game all season. Everybody's battering them. Everyone's still battering them now. But where did they get their win? Tottenham. So part of me was just like, I woke up this morning in good stead. But then something said to me, I wouldn't be surprised if Tottenham do something weird, like go and lose to Ipswich, but then go and beat Man City after the international break. And I said this to my cousin. My cousin was like, stop being silly. And I sat there thinking, am I losing my stuff? But then I thought, I wouldn't be surprised. Boom. We've gone and lost 2-1. Absolute shambles. Now, don't get twisted. I'm always happy when Tottenham win. And if we lose, I'm all right with losing as long as, we tried our best. But it's like, when I look at this team, I don't actually see any players that fill me with joy that they've got the same defensive mentality as me. When I play football, it's like, ideally, I don't like to play in defence. But if I've got to be the one to go in defence to make sure that I'm the one that's going to make sure that we defend in order to win the game, I'll go centre-back. I'll go left-back. I'll go right-back if I've got to. I hate going right-back because I'm left-footed, but I'll do it. Because I'm thinking, if I've got to be the guy that's more defensive than any other right back we've got in the team, even if I've got to go left-footed and use my right foot, all right, cool, I'll go there. Just to win the game. But it don't feel like we've got any players that do that. Like Romero, I just think his ego's too big. I just think he thinks, well, I've won the World Cup now, so no one can chat to me. Dragusin had a terrible game. Terrible. It was disgusting what he did at Galatasaray. And granted, it was Victor Osimhen. But everybody's been going on about, we need Dragusin to play. It's not fair that he's not playing. He's not doing this, he's not doing that. Played against Galatasaray, shambles. Played today, shambles. If I'm honest, if I knew that he was going to play this badly, I'd have had Ben Davies left-hand side. Because we all know what we're going to get with Ben Davies. But everyone keeps going on about we need to play Dragusin. Why? But again, is he any worse defensive-minded than any defenders that we got? No. I'm talking about the fullbacks. I don't look at Tottenham's squad and look at any of the defenders that we've got and think, yes, that guy is going to do his job and make sure that he defends first and foremost. We've just got a load of players that are more focused on getting on the ball. It feels like we've got defenders that will play defence but actually want to play up front. Odogi looks brilliant on the ball. Pedro Porro, brilliant on the ball. Even Romero and Van der Ven, Dragusin, decent on the ball. Off the ball, though, they're dead. When you play certain teams, so let's say you go and play, I'm trying to think of a team. You go and play like Man United. Their defence, you go right. You can probably play through it, right? You look at Arsenal's, you'd say, maybe you can get them on the flanks. You'd look at Man City's. You can play over the top. You'd look at West Ham, set pieces. Tottenham's, all of the above. It don't matter. We struggle to defend set pieces. We struggle with balls over the top. We struggle with people playing in the final third. We struggle with crosses, with people coming in from the wings and crossing. So what are we doing? For me, I don't feel that Ange has any focus on defending. He can't do, because it doesn't look like we're working on anything. Set pieces. We don't concede that many, but I just think it's just teams not taking their chances. The amount of times where Ipswich hit the crossbar today, that they probably weren't even working on set pieces this week, but they managed to nearly score for a couple. You know, I said to my cousin this morning, we'll end up turning Liam Delap into the next Jamie Vardy, and it is literally a Jamie Vardy performance. And Liam Delap, to be fair, I rate him. He's a 21-year-old doing his thing. He never played in the Premier League, but Tottenham just make it easy for everybody. It's not just Ipswich, everybody. You know, Aston Villa, realistically, that was like, I couldn't believe how badly they played. But they went into half-time 1-0 up. You know, Man City rested a load of players. And realistically, like, we absolutely battered them. But at one point, it was 1-1 and we thought, here we go. Or 2-1, I can't remember what it was. And we was all on the edge. I just don't think... I think going forward, I love watching Tottenham. Don't get it twisted. But for me, I'm a football fan that prefers to focus on the whole game. Right? So I love the going forward. But you've got to have the defence. Like, we're just saying that we're just going to go up against everybody and just say, see what happens. Because that's what we're doing. Because if we weren't doing it and we were focused on defence as well as attack, we would have beat Man City, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace and Ipswich. You can't... Like, how are we beating the best team in the country, yeah? And beating Aston Villa, who are in the Champions League and been above us for God knows how long. How are we beating them relatively comfortably, but then losing to two teams that haven't won a Premier League until they played us? It's because you're not focusing on anything apart from going forward. You know, Ipswich and Crystal Palace were focusing on how can we take our chances because they saw us as superior. And what we do is we're just naive. We just look at every team and go, we'll beat you, like we're Real Madrid. Like, it don't work like that. You look at Real Madrid. Real Madrid are arguably the best team in Europe. They took that approach against Barcelona, got slapped up 4-0. They took that approach against AC Milan, slapped up 3-1. But then they've got the players, they've got the coach. Ancelotti's just going, all right, cool. He'll switch a few things up, and Real Madrid won't do that again this season. Mark my words, they won't. If Mbappe's got to be dropped, that will happen. But we'll just go against Man City, do the same thing. And, you know, if I'm honest, if we beat Man City, that will, in a weird way, annoy me more than if we lose to them. Because it's like, how can you go and beat Man City again at the Etihad or get a result with them? But it's Ipswich. And for me, I think it's a lack of discipline and disrespect and respect between the team. Because I just think that, you know, Ange as well as the team have just turned up against Ipswich and thought, yeah, we'll do these. Why would we do these? Because we beat Aston Villa and we beat, what do you call it? We beat Aston Villa and we beat Man City. So, light work, just like most fans would, you know. But because you showed the disrespect and in a weird way, Ipswich showed us a respect in the way that we've got to make sure that we defend, but we can pick them off. You know, McKenna, fair play to him. He understood that we have got defensive frailties and Ange ain't going to sort that out. So it's going to get to the point where everybody's going to understand, just like Newcastle did, just like Leicester did, just like Ipswich did, just like Crystal Palace did, just like Galatasaray did. No matter what happens, if you catch this defence on the back foot from a set piece or from a transition in play, you will get bare chances. Like, I'd love to play against this Tottenham side because I know I'd get loads of chances. And if you're a clinical team, we won't take our chances in some games and then we won't keep the door shut. And this is what happens. You get a team like Ipswich who, you know, credit where it's due, they actually smacked it. They actually did the right. Everything that I've said that you need to do against Tottenham, they did to a T. And won the game. You know, Amari Hutchinson, you could tell he was up for it. You know, ex-Arsenal, ex-Chelsea. Of course he was going to be up for it. But he was man of the match. Like, just made it light work. And I've said it so many times. I can't stand it when a coach has got a team that's losing and he's just stood there in his hands in his pocket or his hood up or whatever, looking like me. Why are you looking like me when you can do something, Ange? You can do something. You can change your tactics. You can do whatever. You know, and if anything, it's partly your fault as to why we're losing in the first place. But you stood there with your hands in your pocket. You looked exactly like I did in my study with my son watching the game. But I can't do anything. All I can do is watch and understand what's going on. You can press buttons. You can pull people into positions. You can bring players off. You can bring players on. You can work on training, tomorrow or whatever. But it's like, I don't even want to watch the press conference because you're just going to come out and just go, yeah, we did this and we did that and we made, we tried our hardest and da-da-da-da, but we can't defend like that. Well, we know we can't defend like that, Ange, and you're the one that's got to sort that out. So if you don't know how to defend, bring someone else in that knows how to defensively coach and take it from there. That's what the top coaches do. Fergie would bring in God knows how many people. He had Mike Phelan, all these characters, and he knew that he probably couldn't do that. And even if he could do it, I've got other stuff to do. So you concentrate on the defending. You concentrate on the set pieces. You concentrate on the defence versus attack. But it just comes across like Ange just tells them all to come into training and go, right, what we're going to do today, we're going to do shooting practice. We're going to do passes in the final third. We're going to do a crossbar challenge, and then we're going to take penalties, and then everyone have a nice evening. But then it gets to the point where no one knows what they're doing in defending. And when we lose 2-1, you come out in a press conference and make it out as if like you trained on it. You ain't training on it. If you ain't training on it, you ain't training it properly. And if it continues like this, whether you want Ange or not, he's going to go. Because when you look at the stats, we've probably been the best in a lot of things. But I don't know what the league table even looks like now. But I think we're like 9th or 10th. And if we'd won today, we would have gone into the top 4. But in typical fashion, Tottenham won't do that because Ipswich are that tougher side, isn't it? But yeah, that's my rant over. Tottenham will always be Tottenham. We'll always bottle it. I'll see you after the international break. And I'm so glad it's an international break. I can go and chill out for a couple of weeks and go and do other stuff in my life. So I've got no interest in England either because that's as stressful as Tottenham. So, yeah, love you all. Have a blessed Sunday. Jacob on the one up top.